Hi and welcome to Everyday Vlogging with Rich Pasini. Today is February 1st, 2019. Thank you for tuning in. I want to start off by saying thank you to all the new subscribers who recently subscribed to my channel. It is greatly appreciated. I hope you like the content and you come back for more. February is a special month for me. Why? Because my birthday's coming up. Am I looking forward to it? Well, yes and no. I mean, I'm getting older. Every time I tell folks, the friends and relatives, they say like, hey, you don't really celebrate? I don't really celebrate my birthday. I don't really care for it. But then again, you always on the flip side, you say, well, you should thank God that you see another year. That's true. So I do appreciate that. And I do appreciate the birthday wishes from my friends and relatives and all my family members. It is greatly appreciated. But I came across this plaque I found at a thrift store a while back. And it kind of like, it's almost me to the T. So I want to show you a picture of it really quick. And you'll see what I'm talking about. And it says over here, Spirit of Pisces, interpreter or poet, quietly attractive, kind and gentle, well-liked, compassionate, hard worker, sincere lover, and devoted, appreciated friend. Wonderful companion, admirable nature, but tends to be suspicious. Attracted to Cancer, Capricorn, Taurus, and Scorpio, February 20th through March 20th. Yep. That's the Spirit of Pisces. Now, I don't make these things up. I just picked up this plaque. I said, you know, to me, it's it kind of interacts with me in a sense. You know, I mean, it's like, you know, some of it could be true. I mean, you know, about a poet. You know, I did write a Sweet 16 poet to my poetry to my daughter when she was turning 16. I did a YouTube video on it, and I don't know if you guys want to check it out. It's in the midst of all these videos, but maybe if I get it, I could just replay it up there and stuff like that. It was for my daughter when she was turning 16. I made this poem up, and it was all my originality. It wasn't, you know, taken from anybody. Sometimes I come up with creativity like that, and I mean, I thought it was a nice poem. I mean, I'm not saying it's going to be a hallmark poem, you know, that you're going to put in a card, but you never know. It could. I mean, you know, could be. You never know. Okay, let's get right to the news. Okay, the first one we're going to hit right now is from Tame, and this story came out today, February 1st, 2019, and it goes on to say, Amazon India removes products over new marketplace regulation. Just for those who are new, I'm sorry, I forgot to usually put this in there in the beginning. I do not read everything verbatim. I will give you the website and the URL, and the rest is up to you if you'd like to pick up where I left off. So I'm not going to, you know, expand too much on the topic. I will read some of it briefly, and then we'll just go to the next one. As you can see, I got quite a few windows open. Not a lot, but I want to kind of try to like make this short as possible. I'm sorry, folks. I apologize for my YouTube videos. Sometimes they protract over an hour, and I do appreciate, you know, I am sorry that it goes that long, and I do appreciate you, you know, if you do watch the whole thing, I do appreciate you taking the time out of your busy day to check them out. But for all intents and purposes, I'm going to try to keep it short and sweet. So I'm just going to read a little of this here, and then we're going to go right to the next one. But let me give you the URL, folks. The URL is, well, this is HTTPS, but I'm going to give you, it's www.tamebay.com. Okay, so the story goes over here, industry insider news. It says a channel whose work. Wait, did I read that one? Oh, this is one. I'm sorry, folks. I apologize. Here we go. Amazon India removes products over new marketplace regulation. You can see it's just a basic one over here. I'm going to read this part, and we're going to go to the next one. Amazon India removed numerous products as new e-commerce regulations went into effect today, which look set to impede business efforts to grow in the country. The marketplace began removing items in the India site this Thursday as it began to comply with the new foreign. What is that? New foreign. Okay. Where is the rest of this here? I guess I got to click it on. Okay. We just leave it like that. All right. Let's see the rest of it here. Okay. Where did I leave off over here, folks? For the new foreign. Okay. Foreign direct investment regulation. Before the midnight deadline. Amazon owned brand products such as the Echo Presto branded home cleaning goods and batteries are now nowhere to be found on the Amazon India. Okay. The new policy in India is designed to prohibit merchants from selling more than 25% of the products via a single online marketplace. It also bans exclusive sales retailers from selling items in which they are all also investors. This prevents the marketplace selling their own products at Amazon India. You can read the rest of this story, folks. Apparently that first one I gave you, it was just a part of it, just like an intro. You'd have to go to this one over here to look for the whole story. And again, you know what it is. So we're going to move right along. I'm kind of like going to be a little over the place here, but that's why I don't have that many windows open up. If I can close this out here. There we go. Okay, this is from e-commerce, one of my favorite sites too. This is from ecommercebytes.com. The URL is www.ecommercebytes1word.com. And this one, I did say, came out January 31st, 2019. New ePay, it should be ePay. New PayPal pilot program helps sellers go multi-channel. It says PayPal is running a new pilot program called PayPal One Touch Seller Sign Up that helps sellers go multi-channel and helps marketplace as well. It comes as PayPal weans itself from the independence of eBay, which is launching its own managed payments. Ugh, I'm not even crazy about that. But anyway, Bill Reddy, a PayPal chief operating officer, discussed during the program during the company's fourth quarter earnings call on Wednesday. Merchants are not choosing one platform on which to sell; they are choosing many, and PayPal becomes an agreed aggregation point to connect each of these platforms, he said. I'm not going to get too much into this, folks, here. I think a lot of you guys might know, or if you haven't heard the news, that eBay is implementing a new payment system in there. I think it's called, the company's name is Aiden, I believe it is. And I don't know if you guys had opted into that. I have not. I do not want to opt into it. I love PayPal. I mean, as far as any transactions through eBay, I think PayPal is the go-to place. But I don't know how this is going to play out, folks. Right now, as far as I know, I haven't gotten any messages from eBay saying that, I'm going to have to switch off to go to Aiden. I know PayPal right now, at the present time, is still the, for me anyway, on my listings, and I still think it's for a lot of majority of the people, the go-to payment processing. PayPal, I really would hope they can hang in there as far as I'm concerned. I really do like them a lot. But anyway, guys, I gave the URL. If you want to check the rest of the story out, you can read it. Let's move right along. This is from the eMarketer. I'm sorry, folks. I got kind of a cough, so it's a little hard for me to go through this quick enough. My throat's a little raspy. Sorry. This here is www. The URL is www.emarketer.com. It says Amazon's private labels are causing even more retail disruption. It says, let me move off my mouse over here. It says consumer brands have long competed against each other in brick and mortar stores and now online. But the latest competitive threat is coming from an unexpected source, Amazon's 135 plus private label brands, as tallied by TGI Research. And in recent FeedAdvisor report, 66% of executives surveyed that the Amazon private label products are cause for concern. In fact, 44% of the 500 brands surveyed said that this new competition was the reason they decided to sell on Amazon. And it goes on to say here, their concern is not misplaced. The majority of consumers surveyed by Cadent said that they would buy private label products in virtually every major category, including over-the-counter medicine, stable food, household cleaners, pet products, and baby products. And they got a little thing over here to show you how the millennials like. It says, how likely are millennial shoppers to consider purchasing private label products? It says the percentage of respondents by category, August 2018. Over-the-counter healthcare, 74%. Paper products, 72%. Shelf-stable packaged goods, 72%. Frozen, 71%. So on and so forth. If you want to read the rest of the story here, folks, you can. I'm not, like I said earlier, I am not going to expand too much on it. This site, however, is very good too, eMarketer. You get some good information from there. And this will give you kind of like an idea of what they're shopping for, demographic-wise, you know what I'm saying? So it's something to check into. Even you just copy this and paint it, keep it for yourself. It'll give you an idea, something to refer back to, I do that sometimes too. I'll keep certain things. I'll make snippets, whatever, and I will keep those little notations, on my desk with me, and every now and then I will refer to them. So you guys might want to do the same, or maybe not, I don't know. But anyway, let me give the URL. If I didn't, I apologize. It's www.emarketer.com. And let's move right along. We're closing up here quick. Hopefully this will be like a 15-20 minute news segment, I hope. It goes over here. This one here is again from TameBay.com. And it goes on, U.S. customers started noticing Amazon sales tax on their receipts. Well, we all know that was coming anyway, so it shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. This one came out January 31st, 2019. U.S. consumers have started noticing Amazon sales tax being added to the purchase price when shopping on the marketplace. To put in perspective, shoppers in the U.S. are accustomed to seeing the sales tax added to the items price at the checkout in physical stores in comparison to UK shoppers who see VAT included in the ticket price. Hitherto, sales tax wasn't collected for online purchases, but the change has resulted shoppers in noticing the new sales tax charges on Amazon purchases, effectively making online and offline purchase equitable. Let's see what it says. Yeah, online sales tax came about as the result of South Dakota versus Wayfair in a court ruling which say the states can now charge sales tax on purchases from out-of-state online retailers. Did anybody? I'm gonna go back to this here, finish somebody. But did anybody check out the 10 sales tax thing there from on that webinar from Avalara? I don't know if you guys did. I did it on a video the other day. I gave you the URL to check it out. I don't know if you did, but if you get a chance, you might want to check it out, though, folks, in regards to online sales tax. I think you might want to check it out. I think there's some pretty good information there you might want to look into, especially if you're an online reseller. Anyway, so let's go on here. Let's just recap where I left off. Online sales came as a result from South Dakota versus Wayfair, Inc. Court ruling states that says that states can now charge sales tax on purchases from out-of-state retailers. The law is aiming to level playing field, as an online leaders in the field have been benefited from not paying rent, unlike retailers with the physical presence. Now we're seeing eBay and Etsy collecting sales tax in line with the new laws across the U.S. states, and plan to introduce it to others in due course. Remains to be seen how the U.S. states will use the inflow of money, whether it will go to support healthcare, education, and infrastructure. I'll be honest with you, I listened to that webinar there, and man, the way that guy was throwing stuff out there, I don't know. I don't. I'm gonna need a CPA to help me decipher some of that stuff, what he was talking about. But then again, if you don't meet those certain thresholds, I don't think it's something to be worried about. But if you get a chance, check it out and you'll see what I'm talking about. And after you do watch the webinar, let me know. Give us some feedback. Share it with us. Let me know what you think, or let us know what you think. All right, let's move right along. All right, eBay growth too slow, says Elliott, reasserting need for eBay breakup. Ooh, look at that. StubHub, eBay Classifieds, eBay Elliott. All right. This one came out by Chris Dawson, January 31st, 2019. Despite eBay's announcement that would return more money to investors through introduction of the first ever dividend payments starting in March and the increased share buyback program, this hasn't been easy to appease Elliott Associates and stop their suggestion for another eBay breakup. I don't think that's going to happen, but anyway, Elliott's 4-point in their letter to eBay stated that eBay is a mature, highly profitable business that should continue to return substantial capital to shareholders, especially given significant growth contemplated under the plan. It would appear that the steps have been announced and don't return anywhere near the level of returns to investors that they would like to see. Elliott's main contention is that eBay is worth more than broken up into pieces than it is retaining StubHub Marketplace and eBay Classifieds groups alongside the marketplace business. Yeah, I think I touched base on this once before about that there, and I don't know. I mean, I don't know if that when they refer to breakup, I don't know. Are they just talking about getting rid of StubHub and eBay Classifieds, or they're talking about, I don't know much more you could break up. I mean, I don't know how many other companies that eBay is involved with that they're talking about breaking up. I mean, these are the only two I've read about. So if that's what they're talking about, that's fine, you know. Because I also heard there was another one that somebody said something about a takeover, that maybe a big company would buy eBay. But I don't know. You know, that's all hearsay. When I hear it, I get the news, I'll bring it to you guys. I don't believe all that stuff I see like that. My dad used to say, believe what you see, only half what you hear. You can't, you know, go by what other people are saying. So, but anyway, if you want to read the rest of this story, folks, go to tamebay.com and you can check this out. The story you're looking for is eBay Grow Too Slow, says Elliot, reasserting the needs for eBay breakup. Okay, let's move along. And we are coming to a close. All right, this one again is from TameBay. Please, eBay, surface the convenience and service your sellers can deliver. This looks like it takes place in the UK, no doubt. This came out today, February 1st, 2019. My first ever e-commerce experience was on eBay and being a full-time seller for a decade, and it left me moving to the marketplace. So it's with regret. I have to admit, I buy more frequently on Amazon these days. And there's only one reason for that. It is not because the prices are cheap on Amazon or because they have a wider selection of goods. They don't. eBay wins both counts. The one and only reason I buy on Amazon is convenience and service. Okay, I'm not going to play too much into this here. You guys could read it if you want. You know the story. And you know, folks, let me tell you, when you go to TameBay, check on the sides over here for the latest news. Okay, check these out because they do have a lot of good news things there too. All right, check them out over here before you exit off the page here, the web page. All right, and then you could also click here to see more stories. All right, and last but not least, this is another TameBay story. This one goes on to say sellers are no longer listened to by eBay management, says an eBay merchant. This story, let me move my mouse cursor, came out January 31st, 2019. And he goes on to say, now this is him now, okay? So I was reading some of the comments, and some people will voice their concerns and issues as they have the right to. You got to understand with this type of scenario, if you read the story here, or I'm going to read part of it, but this merchant here is not too happy with the way eBay runs its business, okay? I'm going to read part of it, and I'm not going to expand too much on the topic because you guys, there's quite a bit to read here for me anyway. Like I said, I got kind of a cold, so I don't want to expand too much on it. You can read the comments that these people left as well, okay? And if you want to share into it, when you go all the way to the bottom, you could have your say, comment, you could put the name required, whatever email, if you want to put the website, and you could submit it, and you could say notify me the following comments via email. So in other words, if you do this here, you commented this here, you know, on this topic, you will be getting notified of the following of comments. Comments, not comics. Okay, so we're going to read a little on here. And the rest is up to you guys. Like I said, I want to close this video. I want to keep the news short. And especially, like I said, I'm not feeling too hot anyway. I'm a little under the weather. The story you look at, that's the story you're looking for right there. The URL is tamebay.com, www.tamebay.com. That's the one you want to look for. Okay, it goes, sellers are no longer listening to eBay management. Is how one eBay merchant describes communication between the seller and the marketplace. As he admits, there was a time when there were forms of good interaction between the sellers and eBay that has changed. Speaking to TameBay on the lack of sellers' inclusion into changes made to the operations, Andy, who wishes to remain anonymous, turns over $500K per year with 100K items and collectibles, all collectibles categories on eBay, and argues that the merchant news announcements are rarely made to the benefit of the sellers, but to those in power. And then it goes on to say here, announcements for the seller releases now arrive with little or no warning and are really good news for the selling perspective. Often these seem to complicate the processing of selling and add to cost without benefit to sales. And this is the person, Andy. Now, he goes on and on to say here about he's not too happy with certain things here, and a lot of people are not too happy with the management, executive management. As we know, the CEO, Devin Wenig, he's the chief executive officer. He pretty much runs the show over there. And, you know, eBay, from reading this here, I did read pretty much the whole thing, and I don't want to keep reading the whole thing right now, folks. That's why I said, it's another thing too, folks. If you don't want to go to the URL, all you got to do is, because I usually scroll down here in some cases you're going to have to go to the URL. You could just read it, stop the, pause the video and just read it if you like. I mean, like that's what I'm doing right now here. I'm doing it for you guys, but you could stop the video if you want to read the comments that people leave, and if you want to expand on it, you can. All right. I don't want to get too much into it because, like I said, I have voiced my opinions with certain things. But, you know, the bottom line is, folks, eBay is a love-hate relationship. There are people that love it, and there's people that hate it. Okay, if you go on YouTube, you're going to see a lot of that there. Let me bump out of here really quick here, folks. Let me get out of here really quick. Where's my mouse? There he is. Yeah, you're gonna get a lot of people that are going to, like I said again, have a love-hate relationship. I do occasionally. There are times I get mad at eBay. I get annoyed with them for the simple reason is, I feel that, you know, with certain things, I understand where that guy's coming from when he says like the community, like when you go to the community chat boards, I very rarely see, at least the ones I've been on, I'm talking about the eBay community chat boards, I very rarely see anybody from eBay interacting with the people on the community chat board. Okay, now there might be experienced people on there that sell on there. They may be a moderator, but they're not. I don't think, quote unquote, they're you know, original or authenticated eBay employees that will come on there and you know, will answer your questions or comments. I think sometimes what happens is you get people that are seasoned sellers, or just people like myself will come on there with prior experience or whatever in that particular area that you're, or that particular topic, and will, you know, interact with you on that level. But for the most part, I think what that gentleman's talking about in there, and as far as, you know, with the management doesn't really, you know, interact with the sellers, I can't say 100% is all accurate, you know, as for that part there, because I think if you contact outside, if you get off of the eBay community chat board, and I think if you contact them, if you do want to contact them, you go directly to eBay. You know, it's like go right to the source, because for the simple reason is, sitting here and side channeling everything, not only that, you're going to get different stories anyway from different people. I've had experience where I had called up in regards to certain issues I had with eBay, and I got two different sides of the story from two different eBay teammates. Okay, now they work there, they are employees. I know it sounds like you're saying, well, now you're contradicting yourself, because you're saying one minute you got to, you know, on the community chat boards, there's nobody, you don't think there's an eBay employee there, and then you're talking about calling an eBay teammate up and they don't know. No, because what happens is, what I'm trying to get across is that when I get two different stories from two different teammates, I guess it's how they're versed, how, you know, how much, you know, knowledge they may be new coming into the system. You know what I'm saying? They might be new hires, and they might not know the whole protocol as far as you know, what's changing and what's not, what's going on, because you go to, if you talk to another, like for example, I was asking a question one time about no views showing up. That was one of my concerns, and I called them up like almost like a daily basis and say, hey, I'm not getting any views on my listings. The counter mark is all off. It's showing like a little dashes or 0 views, or it just disappears. And I would talk to one seller, one community eBay teammate, and he would say, well, there's nothing really wrong on our end. Everything seems to be fine. And I'd sit there telling him, wait a minute. I'm looking at my listings right now, and I see the little tick mark with the little zeros there for views. And he'll say, well, did you refresh the screen? I say, yeah, I did refresh the screen, but it's still showing that there. So he'll go, all right, give the time. Let me look into your account. And then now they get this thing now where they can refresh your account. I heard about it, and I brought that up to a teammate. I said, do you guys refresh accounts? He goes, I don't know what you're talking about. He goes, where did you hear that from? I said, no. I said, I was on a site, one of these chat boards, and somebody said that if you call up eBay and you ask them to refresh your account, they can refresh it. You know, and he goes, not to me. He goes, I never heard of that. I said, okay, all right. I go, I'm just sharing it with you. And that was the end of that. Another time I had an issue with slow sales. I was just inquiring. Spoke to another teammate, different teammate, of course, a different day. Said the same thing. I said, you guys experiencing with any glitches going on at eBay? I said, sales seem very slow, blah, 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 so on and so forth. And no, there's nothing wrong on our end. She goes, but I'll refresh your account. I was like, wait a minute. One guy says they don't refresh accounts. He never heard of it. This teammate says they're going to refresh the account. But I'll tell you this, though. I will say this. When that teammate did refresh that account, my account, it was not long after I heard a cha-ching. Now, coincidentally, it could be a coincidence. You might say, well, it's a fluke thing, you know. maybe the timing was perfect. You called up right after she got the phone. It was going to happen anyway. I don't know. All I know is after I got off the phone with her, I don't know, a little while later, I end up hearing cha-ching. So is there any validity in it? Is there truth behind it? I don't know. There's a seller, an eBay seller. I'm not going to mention his name. He claims that he believes in when you refresh your account on eBay, and this is his take. This is his own prerogative. It's his baby. He called it out. He feels that when he refreshes his own, not going through eBay, that when you refresh the system, that you do get sales later on. Now, in case you're wondering about refreshing the system, the way I was told, and the way I understand it from other sellers, is you would go into your active listings. Okay, this is how I was told. Okay, well, how it was presented to us. You go into, and this wasn't from eBay, by the way. This was from another seller, just sharing, like me. I share stuff, and I'm sharing this with you guys. You go into your active listings. You select all. You hit the button there. You select all. You make sure they all have check marks. Then you go to the edit feature, and you click submit, right? And when you submit, you'll see a count over there, 1 to 100 or whatever, how many you got listed up. Once the process is done, you click OK. Supposedly, that refreshes the whole system again, all your listings, it gets refreshed. How true that is, as far as is it going to create sales for you? I don't know, folks. I'm just sharing what the information I got. That's it. That's why I understand it. Refresh, because I'm saying so. Refreshing. Now I know you're thinking. Now you're probably thinking, wait a minute. Did I refresh the system and call up eBay later on to it? No. That was afterwards. I found out about refreshing, and that was afterwards. I know people may think, wait a minute though. If you knew how to refresh the system, why are you asking eBay to refresh? No, I know. It was afterwards. No. The first, I heard it from somebody. I didn't, because I didn't know the process. I heard about it. The first person I heard from didn't tell you about how to do it. They just said, call up eBay. When you talk to eBay, ask them if they could refresh it for you. They didn't give how they do it because they didn't know how to do it. Okay, so they just shared that information. That's all the parts. The only part I got. And then another time, when, like I said, after I heard that information, I got that information from that person. I called up and I asked them if they could refresh. One said no, the other one said they could do it. Okay, so then I started doing research. I went on there and typed in, how do you do research, or can you refresh your eBay listings or whatever? And that's when I hit it. It was a YouTube channel. I'm quite sure it was. And the person would say how to refresh it. Now, I don't know if that's a true refresh. I don't know. To me, you're editing it. I guess when you hit that submit button, it probably recalculates everything, and maybe it does. I don't know if it puts you in a higher search ranking. I don't know. I really don't know. But this is not my doing. This is what I heard from another person. I don't know, and I don't remember. Even if you asked me, do you know who said it? I couldn't tell you. I don't remember. I didn't write it down. Usually I write things down. I didn't bother writing it down because it was pretty basic to understand it, And the other thing, in regards to refreshing, the other thing is if you have active listings right now, and let's say I have 100 listings with the starter store. Okay, so with the starter store, I get 100 free listings, and let's say I exhausted all of my listings, okay? But then again, I went to a thrift store, which I haven't been in a while, and I go see this new thing I want to pick up, another item to list. And I go on there, and I sit there looking, and I say, oh my God, I utilized all my 100 free listings. Now anything at that's going to cost me 30 cents versus 35 cents if you don't have a starter store. Starter store is $4.95 a month if you do it throughout the year. If you don't, think it's $7.95 a month. It's all right. Anyway, so I was looking at my listings, right? Well, if you're looking at your listings, whatever. In my case, I was looking at mine. I was looking at the ones that had views versus the ones that didn't have views. I also looked at the ones that had watches versus the ones that don't have watches. The ones that have low views and no watches, what I would do, and I've done this before, it works. I would go in there and you update it. Okay, meaning I would change the whole format around. Let's say I was selling a magazine or a comic book. It's doing nothing. It's just sitting there, no views, no watches, nothing. I'd go into that listing, right? Revise it, okay? Clear out the title, clear out the pictures, and put all the stuff. I was told from an eBay teammate that I could do that. I wanted to verify because I said to myself, am I going to get in problems with this? No, it's like, oh, no, you won't have any problem with it because, it's an active listing. And I think the only time you'd have a problem is if someone places a bid on it. And I don't have any bids. I got all buy it nows. So that's like, I guess if you're doing auctions and stuff like that, then that would probably, because I do fixed pricing. If you do auctions and have bids, if there's a bid on it, you can't change it around, as far as I know. I haven't used auction in a while. So anyway, that can be done. As far as I know, unless it changed, according to the eBay teammate, that's allowed. So if you want to change something else instead of jacking up a bill, which I don't recommend you do. If you're frugal like me, you're not going to want to do it. That's how I do it. That's the best thing to do. Take off that dead thing if they're, like I say, you got a 30-day listing. Good to cancel. I stay away from them. I have a couple on there. I'm waiting for those to end. And when they end, I'm taking them off good to cancel. I do not want good to cancel anymore, folks. I do not want them. I don't care for them. But anyway, that's how you would do it, though. So what you do is basically you look at all your active listings. You look and see who's got views, who's got watches, and not. If it's been sitting there and stagnant and you've seen there's nothing happening, and you want to update a new product you picked up. Maybe you went to a thrift store the other day, you picked up a couple of them, or maybe you picked up one particular one you want to add to your listings. Swap it out, just revise it. Get rid of that dead wood and put this thing in, and make sure when you're doing all that now, make sure you change the category. Okay, because I had that happen once before. I was working really quick. I got distracted. Somebody was talking to me, picking up the phone. Somebody's walking in and out of the house, whatever, and talking. I wasn't paying attention, and I did revise the listing. Like I said, you can do that, and I forget what it was for. I don't know if it was for a clock radio or whatever it was, and the listing that, let's say, I think the listing was a book or a manual or something, and I took that off because I said that's not doing anything. And it still had books on it, the category for books or magazines, whatever. And I wasn't thinking. I cleared out the pictures, changed the title. The category was all messed up. And then when I did list it, I said to myself, no views, no watches. Of course, if you're selling electronic, a clock, I think it was a clock radio, it was electronic, and you're saying there's no views, no watches. What's going on here? Of course, you're not going to get anything on it. You got a different category. You got a clock radio there with a category of magazines and books and magazines. Not to say that a person couldn't pick up on that. It can happen. You never know. Crazy things happen. But just make sure, and when you're doing that, there, make sure you got all, like I said, the I's dotted and T's crossed, because you want to make sure that you're putting everything in the right perspective. The category's got to be right. Your description, make sure you take the description out. I came close to almost leaving its old description in there. I feel like I said, when you're doing your advertisements or you're getting ready to prep for eBay, whatever, make sure, like I said, you're paying attention to what you're doing, because it's easy enough to mess up. You could, and then when what happens, the blame game comes out. It's eBay's fault. It's eBay's fault. In the meantime, did you check out your listing? Did you put that clock radio in the electronics category, whatever? It's always easy. It's always easy to blame. Now, I'm not taking sides with anybody. I'm just trying to say, that's how life is. It's very funny that way. We tend to blame people every time something else happens for our own mistakes. Like that gentleman on Tame Bay that was making that statement there. He's got his right to voice his opinion, and maybe his situation is unique or different than others. I don't have that. I'm not into that category. I don't have 100,000 listings. I'm not doing 500K a year. I wish I was. So for me, I can't really interact that part there. And then somebody here, I was reading the comments, just to share this really quick with you. There was somebody wrote a comment in regards to that gentleman's, anger, if you want to call it that. He said, well, you got to understand, with the collectible condition, or collectibles category, you know, he's probably selling sports cards and stuff like that, or cards or baseball cards, whatever it was. And he said this was somebody responding to that comment, his remarks. You know, there's probably not a big market for that there. You know, it could be. You know, the market can be glutted with those particular things. I mean, do your own research. If you're selling something, an iPhone or a Sony camera or computer, whatever, look at the research. You know, just do your own research, and you'll see how many hits come up with it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I mean, there's pros and cons to everything. Like I said earlier, with eBay, it's a love-hate relationship. You either love them or you hate them, you know. But you know what? For a lot of people that hate them, in some cases, they're still on it. Now, I myself get upset. I said it a couple times before. You know, I'm thinking of closing shop and bailing out, but it's like that, what do you call it? Like that Seinfeld thing there where George says when they try to leave, they pull you back. You know, they pull you back again. That's one of those Seinfeld shows. Anyway, that's how I feel about it. You know, every time I think about it, I want to get out of here. Maybe I'll leave it, go to another platform, close up. I've been with eBay since 1999, so I've been with it for 20 years. So on and off. That's why I don't have a big feedback. I know people say, been with it for 20 years, and all you got is 1,205 feedbacks. Buyers don't leave feedbacks all the time, folks. I have you know that. They don't. So it should have been a lot more than 1,200. If I had to take a guesstimation, even when I was selling on and off, I would say that should have been at least 5,000 or better. You know, but at least I'm guessing that would be about that, because I did sell quite a bit on and off though. You know, but I'm thinking the last time I did it, you know, like a tally on it, I would think it'd be about 4,000. Between 4,000 or 5,000 people. I think I would have had. I think it would have been close to that. But it was an on and off thing. You know, back then, eBay wasn't my bag. You know, I was working full time. I was working in the IT field, and I had a stressful job. 3 12-hour days on, 3 on, a 4 off. People said, well, on your 4 days off, you could have been selling eBay. 4 days off, I had 2 little girls to take care of. You know, I mean, me and my wife worked. We worked different schedules. So on my days off, I took care of my kids. My daughters were priority. I wasn't about worrying about eBay. I was worried about taking care of my kids. That's the way it goes, and vice versa. You know, when I was on my job was my priority too, the bread and butter. You know, I didn't have time to sit here and come home after a 12-hour day, stressful job working in IT, and coming home and saying, you know, when I go home from work after I just did a 12-hour day, I'm gonna go home and wolf my food down, have a dinner at 8 o'clock, because that's the time I used to eat dinner, 8 o'clock at night, hang out with my kids for a little bit, you know, or when I sit to neglect my kids, you know, hey daddy, and they want to hang out and watch TV or whatever, they want to go for ice cream, whatever, tell them, oh no, I can't, sorry girls, I got to work on eBay. eBay wasn't my thing back then. You know, it wasn't even a thought. I mean, yeah, did I sell on eBay back in 1990? Yeah, I sold a few things, a few electronic things, an Atari game, 2600 Atari console with some games, an old stereo I had. Yeah, I sold a few things back then, but that wasn't my main priority though, you know. My kids were, and they still are, even though they're in their 20s, they're still my priority, you know. But anyway, enough with that. Guys, if you do like this video, and you like any of my videos, if you check them out, please subscribe, like, comment, and share. And I just want you guys to know again, for the new subscribers, that I do really appreciate you taking the time out of your busy day to check out my videos. They are, you know, this YouTube channel, folks, for all intents and purposes, it is to help people, inspire them, and share information, you know. That's what it's all about. I don't mind helping people out. So that's what it's all about. And I do talk about different topics, folks. I am not going to have a YouTube channel with the same old stuff over and over again. So you might see stuff off, you know, me doing candid things off key, whatever. So be expecting that there. I do hope you like the stuff I put out. I want to change it up a little here, make this channel a little more interesting, make it where you're going to come back for more. You know, I like that guy. He's pretty cool. He comes out with pretty decent things. You know, I still do the reseller news, you know. But I'm going to change the format around, folks. It's going to be, in time to come, you're going to see this YouTube channel is going to change, okay? And I hope it's for the better. I hope you guys like it. I mean, I got plans. I'm conjuring up plans in my mind as far as what I want to do. But it's going to be different, though, folks. It's not going to be the same thing. I'm not saying my channel is going to be unique to anybody else. As a matter of fact, I was just looking at some of the YouTube people that had made it on there. There's one story, I think it was I think YouTube put it out. This company called Tic Tac Toy. I have no affiliation with them. I read in the Two Filter. It's like a newsletter, and they just got their 1 million subscribers. You know, and they got the plaque from. It's nice. You got a nice plaque from YouTube. I wish I can get one. I wish I could have a plaque with over 1 million subscribers. And you know, so it's like I think it's a family YouTube channel, and I think they play with toys. The kids play with toys, and they do a whole bunch of different things. I seen a little brief of it. That's like Ryan's Toy Box or Ryan's Toy Review, another one. There's a big play at that too. I think they said, well, he's 11 years old. I think YouTube did a thing recently. It was last month or the month before. I think the kid, he made 22 million for the year. I think it was even on the news over here in New York. They were talking about that kid. I was like, wow. You know, I think it was him. I think, and if I'm not mistaken, that's how much his revenue was. I don't know if it's from YouTube or whatever. Maybe he's got brands, or maybe he does merch. I don't know. The little kid. Well, the parents set him up right for it. But I think it was 20. I think my memory says I think it was $22 million. He was, I think, the highest paid YouTube guy for that. Kid for that year, at that time. You know, I think it was definitely in 2018 they came out with it. So yeah, it's very impressive. You know. I think as time goes on, you're going to see a lot more and more creators getting involved with this here. I got involved with this here back in July of 2013. My first video was if I'm not mistaken, was the mechanical crying monkey, and he has a banana, and all you see is hands there, because I was always kind of shy. I never wanted to get in front of a camera like I'm doing now, and that was the first video I did. I think I'm quite sure that was the first one, and it was a mechanical doll, you know, little toy, and every time they take the banana away from him, he starts crying. And I put that up on eBay. It was a demo. That was a demo video. And matter of fact, when you talk about a love-hate relationship with eBay, I have to honestly say one thing. I have to attribute this channel creation here because of eBay. And people might say, how so? You know, how can you attribute eBay to your YouTube channel? For the simple reason is, when I did my demo video, it was for eBay. Why would I do a demo video for something like that, you know? So it was for eBay, and that was the whole purpose behind it. And all you see was hands, and I was just talking in the background, you know, and that was it. I was very shy, you know. Who wants to go on a camera, you know? But you also the mindset you got to keep thinking too. If you were in an audience and there were thousands and thousands of people, excuse me, and they're looking at you, you're the focal point, then I can understand being scared and like intimidated. You know, it's like, oh, I can't do that, and you shy away from it. But I'm in a little webcam. Like this, my little HP webcam. That's who my audience is right there. Why should I be scared? Why should I be nervous? Ooh, what's to be nervous about? I'm not in the midst of I'm not on stage where there's thousands of people, or you know, and I'm on TV and there's millions of people watching me. I'm looking at a little webcam. And folks, those who want to start a YouTube channel, don't be shy. Be natural. Talk like you normally would. Don't be scripted all the time. Sometimes that's another thing I gotta try to get away from. I feel sometimes I'm too scriptic in everything I do. Listen, you know what? If you look at other videos out there, what other creators are putting out there, believe me, your video will be just as good. It'll be probably just as entertaining as anybody else's. I've been to a lot of YouTube channels and creators, and they were all good. There were a lot of good ones out there. A lot of people put out good stuff. And I say to myself, you know that old saying, if he could do it, I could do it. Same thing. If they could do it, you could do it. Don't ever let your dreams or your passions pass you by, folks. Because remember one thing. You and I and all the millions of people on this world, we're going to cross this path once in life. Okay? And remember, tomorrow is promised to no man. So if you have a dream and a passion that you want to do, you always want to do in your life, go out, pursue it, do it, you know, and don't let things hold you back. Don't worry what the naysayers say, because people, oh, there is one YouTube guy I follow every now and then, and he tells a story how he became really successful on it. And, you know, when I heard his story, I said, you know, this guy's right. He hit it right on the head, this guy. He's right. He's crushing it, what he's doing. He's doing what he's doing, what the advice he's given, and his story, it all makes sense. It's all put together. You know, Think about it, really, folks. I mean, don't give up on your dreams. If you have a dream, don't give up on it, you know? I mean, like I said, you don't want to be one of these people or later on in life and you start thinking to yourself, you know, I could have, should have, and would have. I hate that there. That bothers me. And I even tell my daughters too, you know, I said, one thing in life, and I have to live by this myself, quitting is the easiest thing to do. Staying in the game is the hardest. Okay, I remember when I was doing the 5K runs, which is no big thing. It's not a marathon, folks. I used to be an avid runner back in the day, but I remember doing a 5K run, and it's not really many miles you're running, but I remember trying to always beat my score every time. The first time I started, I mean, I have to be honest with you, but I was always kind of like on the athletic side as far as running wise. I used to do 8-minute miles, and then, you know, as time would go on, I'd start slacking off because that was the first time I wanted to be very impressive. You know, it's what I could do. I want to challenge myself. And I was doing 8-minute miles, and even the wife back then said, "Oh, for a guy that doesn't run that much, you're doing pretty good." But after a while, I started like slacking off. I was like, you start getting into it because you're putting all your oomph into it, all your energy in the beginning when you're taking off. And then as you start slacking down a little, you start slowing down. So now the 8-minute miles turn to 9 minutes. The 9 minutes turn to 10 minutes. The 10 minutes turn to 15 minutes. But you're not getting anything out of it anyway. It's not like, you know, it's like if you hit that score, you come in first place, whatever, you're going to get something out of it. It's just something you're doing, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, you know, it was something I had to do, you know, and I'm glad I challenged myself. And it's the same thing with this. That's why I tell my kids, you know, quitting is the most easiest thing to do. Staying in the game is the hardest part. And that's what I'm saying. That's what I was trying to get back to with the running thing. No matter how tired I was, I did finish. I came in, I don't know, for 5K, I don't know, maybe 30 something or 29, 30 seconds, 30 minutes, whatever it was. It's not impressive, you know, because I started, like I said, I started getting tired. But the point I'm getting at, though, is I still did it, though. Okay, I still did it. I still got to that finish line. Okay, and that's what I'm trying to say. When you start something, you know, pursue to finish it. Go for it. Go for the gusto. You know, go for it. I can't do a marathon. I can't do a half marathon. I'm not in shape for it. I mean, if I trained for it, I'm not gonna say I probably could, because I probably couldn't. You know, I'm getting older now. In weeks to come, I'm gonna be even older. You know what I'm saying? But don't give up on your dreams. Anyway, thank you guys for hanging in there. Like I said again, if you do like my video, you like this video, like any of the videos I produce, or create, I should say, produce. It's like a producer. No, creator. Please subscribe, like, comment, and share. And don't forget that bell notification icon if you want to be updated as to when I post new videos. Okay? This is Rich Pasini signing out. I will talk to you the next time. Bye-bye now.